Bruce said to me, he said, get it close. And I said, get it close, hell, I'm going to hold.
From the drama of tournament-clinching golf shots to the most emotional celebrations golf fans have ever seen.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion.
These are the top 10 craziest moments from the history of the United States Open. The final round of the 1990 US Open began with 27 players, within 4 shots of the lead. One of them was Hale Irwin, a 2-time US Open champion and one of the most outstanding PGA Tour Champions players of all time. But in 1990, Irwin needed a special invitation to participate in the Open, and he knew how to seize the opportunity. After battling for 72 holes, he found himself in a playoff against Mike Donald. The 18-hole tiebreaker was held on Monday per the established tournament regulations, but that number was extended to 19, as an additional hole was required to meet the champion in Medina. In the end, Irwin sunk a 10-foot birdie putt for an epic victory. To this day, Irwin, at 45, remains the oldest winner in the history of the US Open. That day, he became a hero, just like the 1955 winner, who we will refer to in number 9. Jack Fleck was a golf professional who participated in the D-Day invasion while he was in the Navy. A fan of Ben Hogan, he worked as an instructor at a golf club in Iowa. In 1955, he sent a letter to Mr. Hogan asking him for a new set of golf clubs. Hogan invited Jack to Texas and gave him a spot in the Colonial Tournament. Fleck finished 24th in that contest and, as a result, qualified for the US Open. Before starting the tournament at the Olympic Club, Hogan gave him the clubs he needed to complete the set in his bag. Fleck had 4 forgetful days of practice with the new clubs, failing to record a score lower than 80. But everything changed when he started the tournament, and he trailed Hogan by 3 shots with 1 round to play.
And here's Fleck. He has a log with him about 20 feet. He rolls it in as if it had eyes.
A voice inside told him that he was going to win. And so it happened. With Hogan leading in the clubhouse, Fleck birdied 15 and 18 to force a playoff. The next day, he defeated his idol by 3 shots in one of the most shocking upsets in golf history. While victories like this are memorable for their drama and shock value, others are truly unforgettable for legendary performances of the all-time greats, which is what we have at number 8 with Tiger Woods' dominant performance at the 2000 US Open at Pebble Beach. On the mythical course facing the Pacific Ocean, Tiger completed the career Grand Slam with a 15-shot margin of victory. On a golf course that makes most participants suffer, Tiger navigated the links with ease, and as the journalists acknowledged, that was not a fair fight. Without a doubt, that week at Pebble Beach, Tiger Woods asserted his dominance in what would be the most impressive victory of his career.
Oh boy. And a day not to be believed.
And he did it in front of the eyes of Jack Nicklaus, who said goodbye to the US Open that year after 44 consecutive appearances. But as it turns out, Nicklaus's US Open debut also makes our list at number 7. In 1962, Jack Nicklaus came to Oakmont without a professional tournament win. He was just taking his first steps on the tour and was considered a young man with a promising future. On the first 2 days of the US Open, he played with Arnold Palmer, who was at the pinnacle of his career at the time. More than 20,000 fans followed them on Thursday and Friday. It was a duel of titans that lasted until the weekend. In the last round, Palmer led Nicklaus by 4 shots with 10 holes to play, and that was when the magic of Nicklaus appeared, as he went on a tear on the back 9 to finish in a tie with Palmer, and would defeat him by 3 strokes in a playoff the next day.
And he concedes the victory by 3 strokes to Nicklaus's 71. Mrs. Nicklaus cheer the 22-year-old champ.
It was called one of the most unpopular victories at the time, as Nicklaus did not have nearly the number of fans Palmer did. This victory marked the beginning of Jack Nicklaus's legendary career, where he would win 4 US Open titles and finish in second 4 times. Undoubtedly, the second place that was most shocking was the one we have reserved for number 6. As a young man, Tom Watson dreamed of playing the final round of the US Open at Pebble Beach against Jack Nicklaus. And as fate would have it, Watson faced that exact situation in 1982. He previously had several chances to win the US Open, taking 6 top 10 finishes in his last 8 previous attempts. With Nicklaus waiting in the clubhouse, Watson was tied with him for the lead at the 17th hole, when he missed the green with his tee shot, and was motioned by his caddy Bruce Edwards to put his second shot as close as possible. There, Watson said the famous phrase, "Get it close, hell, I'm going to make it." And that's exactly what he did.
Tom Watson pitching into the hole.
For good measure, Watson followed that up with a birdie on 18 to seal a 2-stroke victory over Jack Nicklaus. It's shots like that chip-in that are almost made for the movies, which is actually the case for number 5. Everything that happened at the 1913 US Open was cinematic, so much so that it inspired a movie called The Greatest Game Ever Played, starring Shia LaBeouf as Francis Ouimet. Ouimet, just 20 years old and a local caddie, lived near the country club in Brookline, Massachusetts. That year, he qualified for the Open and faced 2 of the best golfers in the world, Harry Vardon and Ted Ray. What Ouimet did was branded in the history books. Under challenging conditions, he spectacularly played the final 8 holes of his last round, allowing him to force a playoff with Vardon and Ray the next day. Ouimet would win the playoff against Vardon and Ray, and it was one of the most stunning upsets in golf history, as Ouimet became the first amateur ever to win the US Open, and it was the first time golf was on the front page of newspapers. But it certainly wouldn't be the last, as we all know. Because for many years, Johnny Miller shone alongside the best. He is a golfing legend with 25 PGA Tour wins and 2 major tournament titles. In 1973, he arrived at the challenging course of Oakmont Country Club as the site of that year's US Open. Considering how difficult the course at Oakmont could be, Miller's final round of that tournament is regarded as the best final round in major championship history. Like Fleck in 1955, Miller heard a voice inside his head that told him to change his posture in front of the ball, and it really helped him. He hit all 18 greens in regulation during the final round, shooting a remarkable 63 to win his first and only US Open.
26-year-old Johnny Miller is the new national champion. Congratulations to an old champion.
In 1999, Pinehurst hosted the US Open. As is the case on big courses, Pinehurst number 2 was packed with fans following the stars of the day. The final round started with some unexpected rain, leading to Payne Stewart cutting off the sleeves of his rain jacket with a pair of scissors he got from the pro shop. For 54 holes, he was the leader, but with 3 holes to play, Phil Mickelson took the lead. The Missouri-born golfer had to refocus as he birdied the 17th, and then sunk a 15-foot putt for par on 18 to avoid a playoff and secure his victory, igniting a wild celebration that lives on today.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 US Open champion. Oh my!
Unfortunately, this would be his last PGA Tour victory, as he would die in a plane crash 4 months later. For number 2, what can be said about what happened in Torrey Pines in 2008? That year, and against all odds, Tiger Woods won the US Open after breaking his tibia and tearing a ligament in his knee. As if he were Mel Gibson in the movie Braveheart, he delivered one of the most gritty golf performances in living memory. His victory included the moments typical of great contests, with a birdie at the 18th hole in the final round, allowing him to force a playoff on Monday against Rocco Mediate.
Expect anything different?
Who was not able to overcome the shock of such a moment. Those who knew Mediate closely say that to this day, he cannot believe how winning a major tournament got out of his hands, just like what happened to the unknown Mike Souchak, and whom we remember at number 1. The 1960 US Open was played in Cherry Hills. By then, surprises were the order of the day and were given by all kinds of golfers, as it happened with Mike Souchak, who led the Open almost until the end, or with a young Jack Nicklaus, who participated as an amateur, surprising everyone with his performance. Souchak led for most of the tournament, but was defeated by Arnold Palmer, who came back from 7 strokes to win the tournament. But Palmer did not have it easy. He had to fight for his chances shot by shot. Before going out to play the final round, Palmer asked sports writer Bob Drum if a 280 could win the US Open. Drum told him no, and in a motivational rage, Palmer came out to play, birdied 6 of the first 7 holes, and got himself into contention. It was a matchup of the titans between Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Ben Hogan. But in the end, Palmer celebrated a US Open victory after a par at the 18th hole, and tossed his red visor into the air in one of the most iconic and emotional moments in golf history.
As he wins with a sensational last round 65 and a score of 280.
Well, which of these US Opens are stuck in your memory of great golf moments? Leave a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.